The inaugural edition of the North American Communication Monitor joins a trio of communication monitors in Europe, Latin America, and Asia Pacific that have been surveying trends in strategic communication for as much as a decade. The first edition of the North American Communication Monitor is based on responses from 1,020 respondents in the United States and Canada. Key topics covered in this year's monitor are fake news from the communicator's perspective, information insights for decision makers, job satisfaction and work stress, and leadership. 2/3 of North America's communicators say that fake news is much debated, but there's a substantial difference between the U.S. and Canada. More than 3/4 of U.S. communicators say fake news is a problem, whereas only 2 in 5 Canadian professionals respond likewise. In both countries, just over half of surveyed communicators say they have given attention to the debate about fake news. But fewer than 1 in 5 North American communicators say that fake news is relevant to their daily work. Just over 20% of the surveyed communicators say that their organization has been affected by fake news. Government organizations are the most likely to have been affected, and nonprofits are the least likely. Not surprisingly, more than 80% of respondents say that social media are the sources of fake news. More surprisingly, more than 1/3 said the organization's own internal media were the sources of such quote-unquote news. Data are everywhere and need to be reported, but reporting without drawing and communicating actionable insights provides little for decision makers. The results of the North American Communication Monitor show that providing information to decision makers is not as common as one might think or hope. Only 57.6% of respondents said that information is delivered to top management and/or internal stakeholders. Furthermore, only 43.8% said that providing information was a core task for their department or agency. The most commonly provided reports are media monitoring reports, followed closely by reputation brand reports, survey results, and news briefings. But there were substantial differences between U.S. and Canada. In the U.S., 44.9% of respondents said they regularly provide media monitoring reports, whereas in Canada, 55.2% of practitioners said they regularly provided such reports. Among daily reporting, 25.4% of practitioners said they provided social media monitoring reports each day. News briefings of curated or edited material is provided daily by 21% of respondents. Nearly 3/4 of the communication professionals in North America are happy at work. This nearly matches satisfaction in Europe, which is 75%. The main drivers for job satisfaction are interesting and manifold tasks, appreciation by superiors and clients, and acceptable work-life balance. However, women are statistically less satisfied compared to men on whether their tasks are interesting and manifold. North American practitioners are generally satisfied with their workplace. More than half, 54.5%, anticipate being in the same position with the same employer over the next 12 months. Almost 1 in 5, 17.4%, expect to be with the same employer, but with a promotion to a new position. Only 13.7% said they want to stay in communication but change employers. One major driver for a position change is related to current work stress. More than half of the communication professionals feel tense or stressed out during a typical workday. Most of the North American practitioners can cope with this, but more than 1 in 10 do not have sufficient resources to cope with their work stress. Leaders working in the North American communication industry are strategic and ethical decision makers. Communication leaders in North America support diversity and inclusion, and their bosses value PR. But women are statistically less likely compared to men to agree that decision-making power is shared with employees. Just more than 2/3 of the surveyed communicators agree that their communication leader is an excellent leader. A similar number, 69%, say their organization practices two-way communication between leaders and employees. How does your organization measure up? Discover the full report at planckcenter.ua.edu and look for the North American Communication Monitor. Benchmark yourself against the general North American Communication Monitor results from 2018 and 2019 onwards.